You are now tuning in to the Going North podcast with your host, best-selling author, professional speaker, and member of the John Maxwell team, Dominic Dom Brightman. And every Monday and Thursday, we're going to hear the voice of a different author sharing their gifts, stories, and expertise to help you charge forward in life. Now let's get on with the show. And today on the Going North podcast, we bring you some fabulous humans from across the globe. Today is no different because today we have a special guest on the house. Well, every guest is special in their own way, but we have an extra special guest today because this wonderful lady right here, she earned a law degree from Georgetown University, and she also had a fellowship with the UN Commission on International Trade Law. And then she worked for many years as a corporate and international lawyer in Boston and Prague. So this lady's got some frequent flyer miles. And throughout that illustrious career, it took a turn because she was given some inspirational messages and some powerful messages and very informative messages from a magical planet, because she never imagined that the spirit of the earth, that's right, the planet you and I are on, and maybe some folks out there on Mars in a couple of years, has shockingly spoken to this wonderful lady right here. And her experience has been entirely different since then because she envisioned herself as a corporate lawyer, but nope, looks like things have changed because, in her words, it's in a wild and wonderful way, I instead became a messenger on behalf of our planet Earth. And now this wonderful lady right here lives in Massachusetts together with her husband and her horses. And she enjoys riding her horse through the woods and the fields and being more deeply connected with many dimensions of nature. So for those who probably haven't read the episode title yet, you know who I'm talking about. It's the one, the only MEM herself, Miss Mary E. McNerney. How are you today, ma'am?
Well, it's a treat being here with you, Tom, and to share some information from my new book, Earth Speaks Up, with you and with your listeners. It's got some really important and new information for all of us to engage with. And the book just came out, just a couple weeks ago. And I was really pleased at the response. It's been a bestseller on Amazon US and Amazon UK. So I'm really pleased that the rest of the world is responding to this new information so well. And it's just great to have the opportunity to share it with you. So the book is Earth Speaks Up. And the subtitle is Dynamic New Perspective on Earth and Your Role Here. So it's got a wide-ranging subject that we'll try and flesh it out for you all in just a little bit in this podcast.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It's great having you. I want to
Yeah.
talk about the magical Mother Earth. So
Mm-hmm.
what really led to the Earth just speaking to you on some random day where you're probably just doing the normal rise and grind thing?
Yeah, I tell you this, and I'm glad you asked that question because I love sharing this story with people because it it shows us, well, there's a lot more to our world than we realize. I grew up on a farm in Ohio, a place I really love, so I probably always had a close affinity with nature. But I followed the traditional path many of us do, going off to college. And then I went on to law school at Georgetown and had a basic career as a corporate lawyer, pretty well ensconced in drafting contracts and managing business logistics. Your typical, what is it, left brain, logical, rational type of work, and generally pretty well buried in paperwork. Then one day I was home from work, or maybe it was a weekend, I don't remember now. And it was a beautiful day, and I was so pleased to have this opportunity to not be buried in work for once. And I was, I was looking out the window and thinking, oh, what shall I do today? Thinking, oh, maybe I'll grab my husband and our dog and go for a walk in the woods or take our horse out for a ride. And then I just happened to say out loud to myself, oh, what shall I do today? And then I heard these words, take dictation from the earth. And I was shocked because there was no one else in the room. And I knew immediately that it was from the angelic realm, the spiritual dimensions. And I was shocked for a few moments. And then I thought about it. I thought, wow, that's a profound idea, but surely meant for the more illustrious spiritual people of our time. They must have, they got the wrong number here. So I just didn't know what to make of it. And I put that thought in the back of my mind and then pretty well forgot about it. And then until about 6 months later, I heard the exact same thing, very precisely, very clearly, a voice from the spiritual realm, angelic realm, saying, take dictation from the earth. And I thought to myself, well, I don't know what that means or how to do it, but I just took a pen and paper in hand and went out and sat on the woods in the edge of our backyard and just sat there. What do I do? I don't know. And then all of a sudden, the dictation started coming. The words started coming. It was initially hard for my pen in my hand and my mind to keep up with it. And it was very beautiful information and very profoundly expressed. And I continued doing this over the months and years. And that's what came forth as this book. It was pretty well clear to me from the outset that what was being dictated was a book to be shared with everyone. And it's a book of giving us a new understanding of Earth and giving us wisdom, guidance, and tools to work together with our Earth in a new way and to begin healing and creating with our Earth in a much deeper way than we've ever known. So that's the story of how it began. And I like sharing this because I want people to know that I'm no different than you or anyone else. We all have this innate capability to attune to Earth and attune to our multidimensional world in this deeper way. In the beginning, it was a little bit hard for me to do this work because we're not used to operating at that frequency. We live our life in our three-dimensional world. But once we realize there's this other dimension there and other dimensions present, and the Earth is a conscious, sentient, and communicating being, we can learn to reactivate our abilities to listen and attune in other ways. That these are abilities we all have. They've just kind of been subsumed. We've kind of been distracted by our material world, and our ability to work with our intuitive and multidimensional frequency abilities has been buried. And this book shows us how to revive that, how to begin using that for the benefit of ourselves and for the benefit of our planet. So that's in a nutshell about how it began and how it's really a skill we can all use, we can all develop to learn to attune to our Earth in a new way.
Ah, fabulous. And it's a good thing you weren't like horseback riding and then a big old light came out of nowhere, smacked you off the horse. Like, all right.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. But as we talk about this, joke about it, it is fun to joke. I bet you anything, Dom, there are other people who have had subtle experiences in this way with connecting with other dimensions of our world beyond our traditional 3D, and they don't talk about it as much. And I think, I tell you anything for sure, there's a lot of books out there that come across as stories that people have gotten information in this way, but they're afraid to tell people, I heard this from this angelic realm or the spiritual realm, or this was channeled to me, because they think that's weird. But it's time for us in our society to step past those limitations and recognize this does happen. There is much more than what we see and know and touch in our three-dimensional world. It's a very much more expansive, multi-dimensional planet than we realize. And I think all of this is, once people begin aware of that, they realize, oh, it's not just her getting this information. I get this too, or I can attune to this too, or oh, I see other people have done this too. So it's a level of kind of an evolution for us to go through. So, and if you wish, I'd be happy to kind of give you an overview of what's in the book, or what questions you might have, Don.
Yes, indeed. Funny enough, I underlined quite a few things on the first few pages, and it was just interesting how, in a way, it mentioned how earthquakes, they're just really just a shift in the Earth's skeletal systems. Like, that was a
Mm-hmm.
new one to me.
That was a new one to me too. All of the information in here was a new one to me. It was all new to me. Nothing I had ever imagined. But I'm going to take you back one step before we go into earthquakes, because when we talk about this new information, we have to also recognize that our humanity's understanding and perception of Earth has always been a series of new awakenings, new information. For ages, we believed the Earth was flat. That was our reality until explorers showed us otherwise. And then we believed that the Earth was the center of the universe. That was our truth until astrologers showed us otherwise. And yet again, we believed the Earth was static and stationary. That's reality. That's fact. Until science showed us otherwise. Earth rotates on an axis, and Earth is immobile, is mobile. And today we hold to the belief that Earth is an inert ball of dirt and rock. That's our reality. But I think the past has shown us our perceptions of our planet need to be fluid and open to change. We are awakening to the recognition that Earth is a conscious, sentient, and communicating being, one who needs to engage with each one of us, one who needs us to begin to learn to engage with her and work with her in a new way. And this right now is what our society is being asked to open its mind to, this new understanding. And this book comes forth to guide us in that and to give us the wisdom and guidance and tools to begin to connect with Earth in this new way. So it's really, when you look at it through history, you realize, oh, it's not so far out. We've never really understood our planet. It's always been a series of awakenings and new understandings, and this is just the next step in that long series. We're at the next nexus of change right now. So then I can follow up on your question and your about earthquakes and all, but I just think it's important to preface that where we are been and where we're going in this understanding and what this book is bringing forth. And one thing, the first thing that came forth to me in the first chapter when I took this dictation, it happened to be the first day was there'd been a day following a very major serious earthquake halfway around the world from where I was. And I was wondering about that. And then that's when it was explained to me that earthquakes are, in essence, resettling of the Earth's skeletal system. Just as we shift and change our bodies, the Earth also shifts and changes in her physical body too. But she is much more than that physical body. She is this conscious, communicating being too. Like as we see ourselves as these physical bodies, But we know we're more than this body. We are body, mind, and spirit. And that's true for the earth too. She is more than that physical body. She is also mind and spirit, has a mind and spirit too. And then the book takes us into the Earth Speaks Up book, takes us into a deeper look at what this body, mind, and spirit of the earth really are. And it's much more than we've ever understood.
So that's pretty interesting though, because when I was reading through the beginning, you mentioned how there's like another soul that really inhabits the earth. And it's kind of interesting because, like, all right, we got the soul in the body, and then apparently we got the, I guess, the spirit in the earth, which is really
Mm-hmm.
interesting. And I'm like, oh, okay, all right.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like all these years we call it Mother Earth, but it could be Father Earth.
Well, it's interesting, and I guess that's a good point because just as any of us could be male, female, but one chapter which came forth in the book is, which was conveyed to me, was a chapter about Earth as the sacred feminine, in a way, and that's, I guess, why we do call it now Mother Earth, why we call it Mother Earth. And I think even ancient societies, and of course in the Native American societies, called it Mother Earth, because I think some aspect of our consciousness always picked up on the fact that the earth was in essence the sacred feminine. And that's the essence that she carries now, which is conveyed now. And and there's a really moving chapter in the book on what the sacred feminine earth really is and the full expression of this divine current of creation and creativity, the creative energy that comes forth from the earth to nurture everything on her being, all of nature and all of ourselves. There's this continuous current flowing forth of creativity and support for all the life that is on and within her. And we as humans have always partaken of this and enjoyed all the fruits the earth brings forth, the food and the oxygen and all of this that is brought forth from the earth. But we haven't yet fully learned how we in turn can support her and nurture her. And there's this wonderful dynamic that can come forth as she gives to us. The book provides us with certain little meditations and little exercises where we can begin to nurture and support her in a fundamental new way by working not just on our physical 3D level, but on the fundamental energetic level of creation. Let me see. It's kind of like, let me give you this example here now, Dom. And don't hesitate to interrupt me at any point if you have questions or other directions you want to go in. Okay? But I'll say our relationship right now with Earth is sort of like you're walking down the sidewalk and you encounter a stranger coming in the other direction. And there's no interaction between you two. You just walk on by. There's no exchange of anything. You just pass by these two strangers kind of passing in the night. But further down the sidewalk, you encounter a dear old friend. And so you engage, you embrace, you attune to each other. There's a talk and an emotional exchange and an exchange of vibration and joy as you connect and reconnect and enjoy each other's presence. And then you may continue on your individual paths for the rest of the day, going about your business. But that connection you had with that dear old friend, that vibration of joy and engagement is carried with you, and it kind of nurtures you throughout your day. And do you see the parallel I'm drawing here now between our current relationship with Earth is sort of like these two disconnected strangers passing on the sidewalk, and where it needs to go, where our relationship with Earth needs to go, what it needs to become is this full engagement as it is when we connect with our dear old friend. And the book Earth Speaks Up shows us how to develop that wonderful, nurturing relationship that feeds Earth and feeds ourselves. Just as when you encounter your friend on the sidewalk, you're both nurtured and fed. And this is how our whole society's connection with Earth needs to change and needs to evolve. And once we do that, once we embark on this wonderful new connection with Earth, I can just guarantee you everything else changes. Everything else changes. And this is the way of a wonderful healing and clearing for our planet and for ourselves.
Oh, that's beautiful right there. That's right. Treat the earth like it's a long lost friend.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess
Yeah.
almost like, I guess, instead of like becoming tree huggers, we should all just get on the grass and hug the grass instead, right?
Well, that's one way of looking at it, but it's more than just hugging the grass, because the book includes 9 very simple exercises, sort of little meditations, sort of. That only take a minute or two to do, that help us um, more than just hug the grass, help us attune to that earth's vibration. Same way as when you encountered your friend. Yeah, you had that physical engagement, you hugged each other, but there was also kind of this exchange of vibration and emotion as you attuned to each other and connected with each other. And so it took the connection to a deeper level. And that's what these exercises will show us with Earth: how to attune to her, how to listen to her, her voice, her vibration, and engage with her in this new way at this energetic level. So what I learned when I was asked to take dictation was how to do all this and how to listen to Earth's voice and vibration. And information came forth to me to be shared with others. But it's not just me who can do all that, who's able to do all that. This book shows you. This book will teach you how to do that and how you can engage with Earth in that new way, and how you yourself can work with Earth for healing, for the planet and yourself. And it's like, we're all concerned about things like climate change and environmental degradation and collapse of ecosystems, and there's these wonderful activists who are rallying us to get government to take action, and get corporations to change their polluting policies or whatever, all sorts of action. And we all feel that yeah, something's got to be done about the environmental crisis facing ourselves and our planet. And we feel, well, big government, big corporations, they've got to do something. There's nothing I myself can do. I'm just a little average individual. There's nothing I can do. But the wonderful thing is, what this book shows us is, yes, there is something very powerful we each can do. And this book shows us how to begin doing that and working with Earth at this energetic level. And once we each start doing this and engaging with her at this energetic level of co-creation, working with the creative forces coming through and with the Earth, that has a ripple effect. It has an amazing ripple effect. Once each one of us begins doing this, it brings forth change around the world at many dimensions. And that's the really exciting thing. We've all perceived ourselves as, we don't have the power to really help the planet. It's got to be something big the government does. But that's our perception right now. That's our reality right now. But as we talked about earlier, our understanding, our reality has to be open and fluid, open to change. And what the real reality is, the real truth is, we each have the capability to work with our Earth in a new way to bring about a profound healing for the planet and ourselves. And it's something now I've embarked on, I left my career as a corporate lawyer because this was so deep and meaningful for me, and I really felt I needed to devote my time and my energies toward bringing this book forth and sharing it with the rest of the world. But that doesn't mean everyone else has to do that. You don't have to leave your current life and devote yourself to working for together with the earth and healing. Um, these simple exercises that are shared with us are things we can engage with for a few minutes several times a day. Hey, same way as we brush our teeth morning and night, we take a few minutes to do a few meditation exercises and attunements with the earth. And that has a benefit. We're kind of so stuck in perceiving our world in the three-dimensional realm, we don't realize there's this whole other multidimensional energetic way of being that we can work together with, which is where change and healing is really created. So,
Yeah, beautiful indeed, right there. Heck, I guess that just kind of further, I guess, cements the fact that the Earth is apparently continuously and consistently communicating and resonating with us as the fellow humans.
absolutely, Dom. That's it exactly. That we as humans haven't learned how to listen, or more accurately, I think we've forgotten. I think more ancient societies did listen and attune to the earth, but we lost that as we got more wrapped up in our material world, and now we're being asked to reconnect and listen in a different way. And so, yeah, it's something we can all begin to do. And once you read the book or delve into an exercise or two, it's not that hard. It's all it requires is us beginning to open our minds a little more expansively, beginning to open our minds to look beyond and work beyond just the traditional logical, rational mindset. Recognize our minds are much more expansive and much more capable of exploring working in with these new dimensions. And once we're open and aware, a lot of wonderful healing and creative currents and support from many dimensions, many realms, the earth, the angelic realm, are all eager to support us and bring us to this new way of being aware on our planet, this new awareness of who we are in conjunction with who our planet is. And it's much more than our heretofore limited mindset has recognized. But it's all, as I said, we're all right now at the nexus of change.
And I'm guessing global warming is from us not listening to the earth, and now it's like, all right, it's getting a little mad, so it's trying to reach out to folks who listen to it.
No, it's not. I wouldn't perceive the earth is getting mad. I don't think it's that way. It's like what's happening, my understanding of what's happening now. And I'll tell you right from, I don't know all the answers. I don't know. Well, I'm learning just as everyone else is learning. But my perception is that what's happening now with the planet, the global warming stuff, is because of humanity's disconnect and our what we've done with the ecosystems and our kind of overwhelm of the planet. It's become more than the planet can handle by herself. What we have done in the three-dimensional level, kind of the sort of imbalances we've created in the three-dimensional level in our basic world, it's gotten to be more than she can handle and process on her own. And that's why this call has gone out to us through this book, Earth Speaks Up, is a call to us to recognize, okay, your dear planet Earth, can't do this alone anymore. I need you to change and you to engage with me in a new way. And together, we can bring about a healing. But planet Earth, need you, humanity, to engage in a new way and work together with me co-creatively. And I think that's the whole message of this book. And that's where we can each step up and be able to help with a healing and bringing back a balance. Yeah, things to help global warming are certainly the Paris Climate Change Agreement, and certainly conserving energy, and certainly recycling, and certainly doing all those things that we can do. But it's also working with Earth in this new way and doing some of these exercises with Earth, these co-creative healing exercises with Earth at the energetic level. So I don't see it, I don't perceive it as Earth, global warming, an expression of Earth being angry. It's just the fact that Earth can't do it alone. She needs humanity to join up and take up the role we really were meant to play here. We perceive, I think it's somewhere, I'm not an expert on the Bible, but I think in Genesis it says something like, and mankind shall have dominion over the earth. And through the ages, that dominion was translated as dominance over the earth. But that was a misinterpretation. Dominion comes from the Latin word domus, which is home. And earth is your home. And what do you do with your home? You take care of it. Our role for the planet was to be caretakers. And we forgot that role. We forgot our most important job here during our life is not climbing the corporate ladder and succeeding and having accolades and all that. The most important job is to every day take out some time to connect with the earth and bring a healing resonance to the earth, because that also benefits us each individually.
Yeah, but that's beautiful right there, though, because it's like, yeah, when you think about it, it's like, yeah, you gotta really take care of the earth. I mean, the earth's our home. We only really get one home, like our human body, so you really have to take care of our squares in a way. I mean, there's like, what, 7 billion people on the planet? I mean, not all 7 billion people are doing evil stuff right now, but it's like we can all at least try to take up some square of the earth that we can try to make the best use of it, or at least take better care of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we could take better care of it in loads of ways. Loads of ways. Those things we talked about, recycling, conserving energy, taking public transportation, all those kind of things. Those very practical things. Absolutely, we engage with that, but that's not enough. That's not enough. We need to shift our thinking, shift our awareness, expand our understanding of this planet, and follow the guidance that our planet is offering to us and that the angelic realm is offering to us. And let's quit limiting our thinking to that this world is just what we see in front of us. Let's expand our thinking to recognize there's so much more here. There's a multidimensional world here, a conscious, sentient, and communicating planet who needs us to engage with her, and a wonderful, multidimensional spiritual realm that is coming in to support our planet and to support us. And that there's a lot more here than we in our logical, rational minds have acknowledged. And it's time for us to, okay, step up, open our awareness, open our minds, and allow ourselves to be with the world in a newer way. And once we begin doing this, and it's really exciting stuff to be able to perceive not just the planet, but all of nature in a new way, the consciousness of all of nature around us. We've all seen, perhaps come across the books that are bestsellers today, The Secret Life of Trees, that expresses the consciousness of trees, and things like The Course in Miracles that express the consciousness of all around us. There's so many books coming forth. Of course, Silent Spring was one of the original ones by Rachel Carson a few decades ago, encouraging us to look at the planet in a new way and step up and take more responsibility. And I think Earth Speaks Up now follows on that opening that Rachel Carson and her book Silent Spring brought forth to humanity. And this is the next step for us to begin to learn and grow in this new direction of perceiving our planet. So there's a lot of guidance that's being offered to humanity in many different ways. And this book, Earth Speaks Up, is just, it was a really exciting thing for me to begin to learn and now to be able to share. And I think all of your listeners and readers, once they open it up, once they delve into it, will just really relish the information and the wisdom and the guidance that comes forth for each one of us individually. And it's exciting to realize, wow, I, just an average person, can make a difference. And each one of us, each of us can make we, each average people, can make a difference. And just by doing these small exercises and small awakenings.
Beautiful indeed. So, in addition to, I guess, the on paper stuff that we already know of just making sure we recycle more often and probably using public transportation or even bike riding, is there anything else you'd recommend for folks to do for taking better care of Mother Earth?
Well, on the practical level, that's good stuff. And I think there's many people who will give you lots of advice on taking care of Mother Earth on the practical level. But if you're ready to step beyond that and ready to step into a whole new way of being Earth, I think if you get the book, Earth Speaks Up, it's a thin book. It's not a heavy volume. It's an easy read. And each chapter is full of such wonderful information. And there's 9 exercises in it that are simple sort of meditations to do, simple things. This is the next way of, and so that's what I would encourage people to do. Get the book, Earth Speaks Up. Share it with your book group. Share it with your family. Talk about it. Explore the information in it. Work with the exercises. Some of the exercises are things you do on your own. Some, if you have like-minded people who are interested, it's fun to engage in the exercises, these little meditations with a few of your family or friends. You can do that together. And these are the things that can really start making a profound effect because you're working on a different level. The practical level is one level. Start recycling, bike riding, yeah, great. Of course, and there's lots of scientists that will give you more information or experts that will give you more information on how you can better work on that practical level for the benefit of the Earth. But you need to step beyond that. You need to start working on this amorphous level, the energetic level, the level of consciousness and creative thought. This is where healing begins. As you, I think, I don't know who it was, maybe Einstein or some famous philosopher, scientist, or someone said, thought precedes form. Well, what I'm saying here is thought is energy. We work on the energetic level. That creates a healing on the form level, the healing on the physical level. And so Earth Speaks Up shows us how to begin doing that. So I would highly recommend you get the book, share it with your book group, your family. You can get it on Amazon, you can get it on Barnes & Noble or from the publisher, Sacred Stories Publishing, or your local bookshop can order it from you, or order it for you. So this is a starting point, and it's really, Earth Speaks Up is really a gift from the earth and the spiritual realm to each one of us to show us how to work together with her.
Beautiful, working together with Mother Earth. Will there be an audio version with you reading it too?
With me reading it? Oh, we hadn't thought of that. That would be, that's a whole other way. You can get it on Kindle, but yeah, I hadn't thought of an audio version of me reading it. There is, it's had a wonderful reception kind of across the world so far, and someone in Europe, a couple people in Europe, Germany, Sweden, have picked up on it and are really interested in want to do a documentary about it. So that's kind of exciting. So we'll see where this all goes, but I'm really pleased with the reception that individual people around the world are having for this book. So I hope your listeners will engage with it too, because it's only going to benefit us all and our planet.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Benefit everybody and the planet.
Mhm.
And speaking of planet, if you were to wake up tomorrow and you're 25 again, but this time in 2019, with your new amassed knowledge and awakening and new relationship with the earth, what advice would you give to yourself?
Oh, I would give to myself, and the advice I'd give to myself, and the advice I'd give to everyone else is don't neglect your intuitive self, your intuitive abilities. That we get so wrapped up because our lives, starting, at 5 years old or in school and learning the logical and the rational and all good things we need to learn. Yeah, all the practical stuff we need to learn, working with our logic and our rational mind. But during that process, our intuitive self, what is it? Be our right brain. Um, yeah, I think our right brain is intuitive and the left brain is the logical. Maybe I have it reversed. But that whole aspect of ourselves gets subsumed, submersed, and sort of lost. And that's one thing I would encourage anyone, whether you're under 25 or over 25, doesn't really matter. Start being aware of your intuitive self and your intuitive abilities because we all have them. Once we start paying attention to that, um, it flourish and expand, and we can work together with each other and the world in just better and more expansive ways than if we just limit ourselves to logic. And logic is all well and good, but it's not the fullness of who we are. We have many more innate abilities within us that need to come forth. And that's what attuning to our intuitive self, our gut sense, our expansive mind will show us. So that's the advice I would give to anyone, 25 or younger or older. So,
Oh, yeah, tap into that intuition.
mm.
Yes, indeed.
Honor it. It kind of gets, our society kind of like, oh, that's just intuition. That's only intuition. And our society kind of looks down on it, disregards it. Well, that's just a pattern of mindset our society's gotten stuck in, negating intuition. So, you know, I think we've got to just move past that old pattern, that old habit, and open our minds a little more expansively. Recognize intuition has just as much value as logic and rational thinking. They each support us in different ways, so we have a fuller experience of our world and in navigating our world.
Oh, yeah, especially when information isn't always visible, because I mean, intuition can probably point your inner compass towards a way a certain person might be out to do you wrong or something evil, as opposed to
Mhm.
information where they haven't presented themselves with enough information to your eyes or ears to something that would make you distrust them just from a logical standpoint.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's a really good example, Dom. Just basic things like that. When you start listening to your gut sense, your intuition, you can read other people better, other people's intents better. In same way as when you start listening to that, you can read other people better. You can use that same sense to listen to our planet, and you learn to read the earth too. You get the same sensation from the earth too, because the earth is a living conscious being, just as that person is too. So yeah, I like your example, Dom. It's like, yeah, start using it. Start working with your intuition, throughout the day, whether you're engaging with the planet or whether you're engaging with someone else, at a meeting or being introduced to whatever. Honor those gut feelings you have, the sensation, the vibe you're picking up. Yeah. Mhm.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Honor all the gut feelings, indeed. Honor all the guts. That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just part of the practice of learning to listen to your intuitive self. Yeah. It just takes a little bit of practice. And the more you do it, the better you get at it. Like when I was told to first start taking dictation, it was hard for me because our minds aren't used to working at that sort of a different frequency level. So it was a little bit hard for me. But the more I did it, the better I got at it. And then it became very easy and very natural. So it's the same for everyone. Because we all have that innate ability. It's just gotten rusty because we haven't used it. Our society hasn't used it. So we got to get it out, right? Start putting it to work, start using it, start engaging with our intuition and our deeper cognitive self, I would call it, our deeper sense, our deeper understanding, our deeper cognition, which goes beyond our 3D world. So yeah, I guess as we talk about, I like that word better than just intuition. Intuition has a lot of connotations of it, but our deeper cognition, our deeper understanding, start working with that, and getting it out from it's been subsumed for a long time. Get it out, put it to work, start using it in throughout your day, and especially start using it by doing some of these little exercises with Earth a couple times a day, a few minutes a day. And the more you do it, the more flow comes to you and to the planet, and the easier for you it will become, and the more enriching for you it will become. So yeah, I like the term deeper cognition. Not just intuition, it's deeper understanding. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, that's the DC that everybody needs right there.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, and I think this book, will show people. It's guidance for showing you how to get that innate ability you have back to work, how to start using it, how to start working with it in conjunction with the planet. Yeah, but as you start working with the planet in this way, it will help you, nurture you in the rest of your life too. And expand your understanding of this multi-dimensional world we're really in, which I think there's a lot we've been missing by limiting and closing ourselves off to the multidimensionality that's really here. So, and by limiting ourselves to just focusing on this material world, because life is much more than that, and the planet is much more than that. And there's a wonderful guidance and support available to each of us and to all of humanity once we open our minds and allow it to come to us and be aware of it. So, and yeah, as I've said before, Earth speaks up. We'll just enable all of us to engage with the planet and our whole lives in a new way. It will really change your perspective and your way of being, and it'll be, and it's fun doing it. It's not arduous task. It's an enjoyable book and a mind-opening book, and engaging in this way is really, you'll come to relish it. You'll come to enjoy those times when you can sink into being with the planet more fully, and it will just feed you as it nourishes and brings healing to the planet. Because a lot of these exercises that are given in here are basic, little, simple, and healing exercises for the planet. But as we're shown in the book, as we heal her, we heal ourselves. It's not separate. We're really one togetherness. We and the planet are not these separate strangers going down the sidewalk. We are one togetherness. What we do for her benefits us, and that's what this book shows us, how to share in that ability to engage with the planet.
That's right. Engage with the planet. Find a wedding ring big enough for the Earth. You know what?
I love it, though. I love that. Yeah, I love it.
Yep, might have to steal one from Saturn, maybe.
Great. Yes. Oh, that's a good analogy. That's a great analogy. Okay. humanity borrows an engagement ring from Saturn so we can engage with Earth in a new way. That's all. It's all good. It's all good. Yeah. Yeah.
That's right. Maybe tweet that to Elon Musk, maybe. See if he'll.
You know, from what I've read about him, he's got a pretty open mind. You got to have an open mind to embark on these inventions he's got going. So yeah, he was like, okay, let's see what we can do. And this is a whole new realm too. Like other planets. What are other planets? If our planet is a conscious, sentient being, heck, what is the rest of the world? What is the rest of the universe? We don't know. We don't know at all. All we know is the limited perception we have now, the understanding we have now. But as we saw, humanity's understanding of reality is always a series of awakenings. So yeah, there's so much out there that we don't know, and we can't assume that everything is as we perceive it at the moment. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So, for those who want to keep in contact with you, what's the best way for folks to reach out to you?
Yeah, my website is www.marymcnerney.com. And I'll spell my last name for you in case it's Mary McNerney, McNerney. So you can contact me and there's more information on my website about the book. You can go there to connect to links to buy it at Amazon or Barnes & Noble or the publisher. And we can, engage and connect through there too. So I just love having the opportunity to share this important information with more and more people, and especially with your audience, Dom. It's great chatting with you. So.
Great chatting with you too. That's right. From one M&M to a metaphorical man.
Yeah. Yeah. And I gotta remember this idea of the engagement ring you brought up from Saturn to here. Yeah. R1 from Saturn. It's got a few extras. Why not? So yeah. Yeah.
Heck, maybe for volume 2 if the Earth speaks up, huh?
Right, right. I have the feeling, and what I've been told anyways, is that there'll be more at least another book coming forth. There's a lot more to say. It's enough work for me to launch this one. This was a lot.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not ready to launch
Oh, yeah.
another one yet, but there'll be more information coming forth, and already is. Okay, and I'll probably, once this book gets more launched and more going out in the world and on its own, I'll probably be engaging and starting a blog too, so we can share some new information that's coming forth from the earth, and readers can share. I'd love it to have readers be able to share their experiences as they do some of the exercises in the book, or maybe share their experiences or thoughts they've talked about this with their book club or their family or friends, whatever. I just think it'd be great to start doing that and having a blog that we can all share in. Because we all can then begin to learn from each other. Because I'm not the expert here. I just happen to be one of the people to go first. But now, as more and more of us engage in this way and share the book, we each then be able to learn from each other. And sharing our experiences together will be really enriching for all of us, and expand our understanding that way as we expand our healing of our planet.
That's right. Expanding and healing the planet indeed.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. In a wonderful new way. Yep.
Beautiful right there. So, the parting words for the folks still listening, Mary?
Well, it's just been a treat sharing this with everyone and sharing with you, Dom. And thank you for giving me the opportunity to bring forth this really important information to a wider audience, because it's only going to benefit the planet and ourselves. So I just encourage the readers to buy this book on Amazon or Barnes & Noble or Sacred Stories Publishing, or get your local bookseller to get it for you. And jump in, dive in. Let's work with our planet in this new way. You'll love it. And the earth will too.
Hey there, you superstar. Thanks a bunch for making it this far in the podcast. Hope you really enjoyed it. Heck, if you made it this far, that means you really enjoyed it. Be sure to shoot the guest an email or head over to the social media pages and leave them a nice response that you heard them on the Going North podcast, so that way they can continue to be inspired to do great things. And be sure to share this podcast with others that you think would enjoy it as well, because we want to inspire as many people as possible to live their dreams, embrace them, and to do something positive.